the case that grabbed national attention. Rebecca Musser is speaking out for the first time about being born into a polygamist sect, what made her leave, and her fight for justice. She tells her story in the new book, The Witness Wore Red. Here's NBC's Keith Morrison with the story.
It's called Short Creek, the two towns along the Utah-Arizona border at the base of the Canaan Mountain, home of the Fundamentalist Church of Latter-day Saints, or FLDS, where polygamy is openly practiced. This is the life into which Rebecca Musser was born.
We were taught you should want to be a plural wife because it was more holy.
And Rebecca was chosen for a high honor. She became the 19th wife of the prophet, Rulon Jeffs, which, for Rebecca, was no honor at all.
I did not want to marry Rulon Jeffs. He was 85 and I was 19.
There was another Jeffs in Rebecca's life, the prophet's son, Warren. And when word got to Warren that Rebecca had refused to cater to the prophet's sexual demands, a kind of war was threatened.
And he said, don't you ever, 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 ever tell your husband no again. If you do, you will be destroyed in the flesh.
And when the prophet Rulon died, and Warren Jeffs took over the church, rebellious Rebecca was in deep trouble.
And he pointed his finger at me and he said, I will break you.
She fled from the community and the church then. But really, the war had just begun. As Rebecca adjusted to life on the outside, many members of her huge polygamous family remained loyal to Warren Jeffs, and they and hundreds of other members of the FLDS moved to Texas, where they built a brand new community, shiny white temple and all, called the Yearning for Zion Ranch. And one day in March 2008, the Texas Rangers raided the ranch on the strength of a caller claiming to be an abused 16-year-old. Not an easy assignment, said Ranger Nick Hanna.
It was a very confusing situation. Most of these ladies dressed alike, they sounded alike, their hair was fixed the same, and there was only about 4 or 5 very common names on the ranch. And so it was very difficult, as you might imagine, to differentiate who belongs to who and who is who.
So the Rangers recruited Rebecca to help make sense of it all. They took her inside the sacred FLDS temple, where they found something strange: 2 beds. From her time in the FLDS, Rebecca knew immediately these must have been used to perform so-called holy ordinances,
where we would be taught the correct way to conceive a child, the laws of creation.
And sure enough, deep in the ranch's vault, they found a recording.
Thank you for letting us hear our heavenly burning feet.
Now it all made sense. Rebecca confirmed that it was Warren Jeffs himself performing the ordinance, in other words, having sex with a 12-year-old girl.
Not only had Warren been the perpetrator and the predator on these young girls, but he had taken the thought, the idea, and called it holy.
Jeffs was arrested and charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. In 2011, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, thanks in large part to Rebecca's testimony.
I didn't set out to break him. I think he broke himself. But he most certainly did not break me.
For today, Keith Morrison, NBC News.
It's a powerful story. If you want to see more of it, you can watch a special 2-hour Dateline tonight at 9, 8 Central Time. And you can read an excerpt from her book on today.com.